Hey guys, Shmisto here. Sorry about the lack of updates. I've actually been taking care of a bunch of asshole kids. That and usually the errands that take place during that. It's been a rough time for live stream, not to mention my network seems to be crap where I live, so makes it a lot harder for me to get on and live stream as much as I'd like to. Any gaming parents trying to game with kids, especially rowdy ones, not so easy. But I have something for you guys. I know my past couple ones I seem to have this bad tendency of losing when I'm on camera. But I'm going to show you some of my replays, and this is with the Ginger World Wielder Ginger deck mixed with the Nihilus Neutral. As you can see here, this is the deck I'm running right now. All the neutral engine, with the big guys like Zeus, Bahamut, the Double Ginger, Israfil, the Archangel Reyna, Lucifer. I've been throwing a Gilgamesh since aggro seems to be a thing, and trying to push for damage at the last second. It gets kind of hard, and Zeus can't always hold that weight with the 10 cost. Whereas Gilgamesh pretty much has similar stats, lack the abilities, but he has Storm, which makes him great, especially with the Sahas. Run 3 of those, obviously. I'm not the biggest fan of Illusionist, but it does help you get there sometimes. I actually have one game where I used Illusionist and saved my butt. I actually misplayed during it, and I evolved the character that I brought back, and I didn't even need to. It was strong enough to kill the monster anyway. Oops. But hey, it happens. The fleece are so important. The fleece are ridiculous in this deck. Fleece makes this deck. It almost makes it broken. Like, big monsters, unless they drop a Baja, Fleece can pretty much take out anything fairly easy. Zeus, is 12. It's right under Bahamut defense-wise. Still hard, but not as hard. Same thing with Hector. It gets up there, puts your taunt on the field, your Alice's, Mysterian Grimoire. I was actually running 3 until about 30 seconds before I started this video. I dropped down to 2 in place for Looking Glass. Added the 1 spell. As you can see, I haven't had any spell so far. I did add 1 Looking Glass just because it helps, turn these into neutrals, Fleece into neutral. It helps the neutral engine, and which means they can all be buffed by the Alice or even the Farias. So there's my one of Into the Looking Glass. Witch of the Sweets, one of the most important cards in this deck. It's ridiculous. It's a 2-drop 2/2, which is, basic. But on the top of that, if you have equal or more neutrals than you do Runecraft in your hand, you draw a card. So she replaces herself for the average 2-body 2/2. It's amazing. Searchable. Looking Glass can turn her to a neutral also, so it makes her not completely dead to Faria or Alice. You have the 3 Unicorn Dancers. Amazing. They stick, they heal you, which is really important, especially against Swordcraft, anything like that tries to push out damage. 2 Bell Ringers because, having the defense is nice and does draw you some. Well, enough of that. Let's get to some of this. Let's see, go to my replays. As you can see, I've only lost 1 out of these 10. And there's actually another 5 wins under this. This one, I will definitely show you. It was one of my favorite matchups. It was against the Dirt Ginger Hybrid deck. It's a deck I made before this Wonderland expansion came out. It's a fun deck. It has the Dirt engine for early game instead of the neutral like I'm currently running, but still has the big finishers that come with the Ginger, the Dreadsea build. I lost because, I popped my Ginger early. I was not expecting all the late game cards. I hadn't even seen a hint towards that. I just saw Dirt, saw Taboo. I was like, okay, I'm going to drop my Ginger, fill up the field. He's not going to have an answer for that in Dirt. He dropped Bahamut. It took a couple turns. I got past the first Bahamut. He Bahamuts me again. I'm like, well, crap. What do? And then he drops like double Lucifer. I'm just like, if I draw Bahamut, I win. But I never saw Bahamut. But it was a fun matchup. The guy was great. I sent him a friend request afterwards, actually. But it was really fun. But enough talking for me. Let's get to this first one. Yes, my kids are ridiculous. They are super hyper. Their doctors keep trying to give them medicine to calm them down. Teachers keep sending us messages. They won't listen, all that. Again, anybody with kids, you understand. It's ridiculous. It's so much harder to play video games, especially stream them, with kids running around screaming, always interrupting. I love them to death. Don't get me wrong. But it makes things much more difficult. Alright, so this one I opened up not bad. Not bad at all. I got the Hector for defense. I opened up the Lucifer. A bunch of 2-drops. This is a really good opening for this deck. The only thing that would have been better was like one of those unicorns having a sweets. He just got done with his turn 3. He's still 2 turns from evolving. And you drop that. He's baiting it. He wants me to kill it. He wants me to remove my field presence. I wasn't going to. And now that I see he's playing dirt. Killed that. So now that I know he's playing dirt, he evolves next turn. I'm not going to let this slide. It's not happening. So, second unicorn, Faria. Let's boost them. And as you can also see, I've got the Lucifer, I got the Israfil, I have the Saha, and the Hector. Angelic Knight, well, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering why I'm playing that. Well, it was a 3-drop, 2/2, no defense. I took him out because I ate all my Grimoires, honestly. My Grimoires, I ate them. Still a great card. I love Grimir. But the reason I had him in a lot of my Runecraft decks was, you know, the 4 damage to the face. The 4 separate damage to the face. You know, the 1 at a time gets past a lot of the things that, you know, nullifies damage. Can only take 3 damage at a time from the Havencraft. Got past that. So, he's not too bad. I've been happy with him. He's a 2/2, and he also boosts attack. Which, in Runecraft, a lot of time, even with the neutral engine, you do end up lacking that 1 attack sometimes. It gets in there, he makes a body. He's cheap. And he's neutral, so which means he's buffable. Let's see, a lot of these, pretty much you just play the engine. That draws you 2 cards. During this matchup, again, before I started this video, I was running 3 of him. Didn't even have a spell, so this deck should be played no spells whatsoever. But for the most part, you either go face with this deck, or you control the field until you get to late game. Turn 7, you can start going off, assuming you have the Sahas or Felice. Just a couple moments, I'm sure my wife will come out here and yell at me. Speaking of which, it is 4:07 my time. I just got home. Kids are thankfully at their grandparents. They get to deal with them right now. I have the infant, but she's in there with the mom right now. And there you go, that Felice coming in, hitting an Oz. So, if I remember right, they only lose 1 off that Oz, but still. Unless they Caprice and turn it into a snowman, hitting that Oz is necessary. And a second Oz, that's ridiculous. I wish I could open up double Oz. It hasn't happened like that. Out being, and I won that match. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to that match. I was more interested in talking to you guys. Alright, let's see what we got next. There's a dragon. What is this? Hello. Fortunately, my Jack and game on my phone because it says you're watching. Whoop. This was a bunch of 2 drops, which you can't get better than this. It's ridiculous. Against big on their guy one swoop and just which was probably a bad play, but you're still have a big win. And I'm going into track 1 being wasn't if we didn't have anything. So I knew for at least 3 right now. I can sit there and just want that thing. With opened up Daria and the card big and relevant. Ooh. I could drink ginger, play this way because trying to lose for slash one with that. Alright guys, that's all for thank you for watching. Again, I'll show you these big games. I've only lost once. It was against the Runecraft. And I expected to lose against Shift. He opened up Dirt. I played like I would play against Dirt, as you saw earlier. I showed you my first one that was on here. Dirt doesn't have a chance against this deck as long as I don't open up complete high end. I played against that the same exact way, opened up the exact same way, and lost because I pretty much blew my load. I flopped down the table a little bit too early, and his dick was bigger. That's all it came down to. So thank you guys. Please like, follow, subscribe. If you want to make fun of me, please go ahead. Actually, I got a ponytail right now. You probably can't see because I'm sitting on the porch and it's dark, but my ponytail's all fancy right now. Please follow, comment, like, dislike, share, recommend me to other players. If you have something you'd like me to watch, please post it in the comments. I will follow the link and I'll watch it too.